can tell, got a new setup here. I can finally record and edit my videos without breaking my back on that futon, which is going to be sick. Now today, I'm coming at y'all with a little week 7 recap, baby. It was a fun week, so without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, first and foremost, let's start with a little Thursday night football in the Broncos and Saints game. Obviously, the Saints got smoked 33-10. I don't know. This game doesn't really change my opinion on the Broncos too much. Yeah, Javonte Williams finally had a decent game and was able to find the end zone, but you're playing a completely broken and destroyed Saints team, and Spencer Rattler is just not ready to be in the spotlight. That's too much pressure on him right now. It is what it is, but yeah, without Derek Carr, I think this Saints team is absolutely screwed, and I think the Broncos are just a feisty all-around team that'll end up somewhere below 500. I think slightly below 500, but their defense is good. Bo Nix has been improving, though he still has not really done anything impressive. But yeah, I don't really think you can take the Broncos super lightly anymore. I don't think they're contenders by any means, but I do think that, on a week-to-week basis, they're capable of going out there and getting a dub. So next we got Jaguars, Patriots. Not gonna lie, I only caught the second half of this game. I had a hell of a Friday night, but I don't know. This is kind of exactly what I was expecting. I had predicted the Jags to win, and I'd only gone 24-20 over the Pats, but I mean, they ended up just running away with this game, which didn't surprise me. I think it's kind of hard to take away anything positive from either of these teams. Like, yeah, congrats Jacksonville, you're no longer a one-win team. You put up 32 points, but I mean, for fuck's sake, you did it against the dysfunctional ass Patriots, so that's really not saying much. And as for the Patriots, I mean, Drake made a decent game, so I guess you can take that away. Jacksonville's season is fucked, completely fucked, and the Patriots obviously is as well, but everybody knew it was going to be fucked prior to the season. So Lions versus Vikings. Now obviously, as a Vikings fan, I am very, very sad to see our undefeated streak come to an end. However, it was a great game, man. I mean hell of a performance by Aaron Jones, JJ, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff. Amon-Ra had a good game. Sam Darnold had a good game too, despite that interception. I mean, frankly, that was just a great play by Brian Branch, but also not the greatest read by Sam Darnold. But aside from that, I think he had a pretty good game. Obviously, our defense fucking bailed us there with that Josh Metellus punch out. Ivan Pace returned for a touchdown. You know, as a Vikings fan, I can't help but feel like, obviously, if we had converted that 2-point conversion, the game would have been tied at the end there. And if we had not just gone 3 and out at the end of the fourth quarter there, then the outcome of that game probably would have been significantly different. But it is what it is. I think the Lions are a very, very good team, and this loss really doesn't upset me too much. Frankly, I think that this will get some of the haters to shut the hell up, because if the Vikings would have beat this game, everybody would have been like, oh wow, you beat the Lions without Aiden Hutchinson, good job. But no, we lost to them and we put up a hell of a fight. So it's like, you can't just keep shitting on the Vikings. They're a good team. Sam Darnold is a fine quarterback. Hopefully they can keep this shit up, but I'm tired of the disrespect. Just quit trying to make every game a prove-it game for the Vikings. They have proved it already, all right? Enough with the fucking prove-it games. Next, we got Titans versus Bills. Now, as a Josh Allen owner in the fantasy league that I probably care the most about, I was scared shitless after the first half. Yeah, I think after the first half, Josh only had like 8 points in fantasy, and I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, if this is going to be how Josh Allen is, it's either 8 points or 30 points, and you never know. I don't fucking want him. I'd rather get a nice floor player like Jared Goff. But luckily, Josh Allen was able to dial it in and have a pretty damn good game for himself, throwing for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, after the first half, I was definitely a little bit worried, but no, he ended up making it a good one. I mean, as they should have. Y'all were playing the Titans with Mason Rudolph starting, which probably doesn't make a difference. Frankly, Mason Rudolph is more likely to bring success for the Titans than Will Levis. I mean, goddamn, Will Levis has been so fucking bad this year. Dude cannot help but just turn the ball over in the most ridiculous ways you've ever seen. So this win for the Bills doesn't really do much for me. Doesn't really do much for the Titans for me. I think the Titans are fucking bad, and I think that the Bills are a good team that really struggles against good defenses, but against not great teams, I think that they can just beat the hell out of them. Maybe Amari Cooper will begin to change that. Maybe they will be able to put up some more numbers against good offenses, but as of right now, they have been a little underwhelming the past few weeks. So we'll see. Not really sure how to feel about the Bills right now. All right, Dolphins versus Colts. Dude, after the first half, I was like, are you fucking serious, Colts? Are you fucking serious, Anthony Richardson? Like, what the fuck are we doing? How are we losing to the Tyler Huntley-led Dolphins right now? And luckily, the Colts were able to dial it in the second half and get a dub there, but that was not a pretty game. Anthony Richardson continues to disappoint, so I don't know. It's hard to take anything positive from this game. I mean, AR went 10 for 24 for 129 yards. That is fucking awful. And like, yeah, he had 56 rushing yards, but good God, that is underwhelming as hell. And the Colts run game continues to lack without Jonathan Taylor. I think Tyler Goodson's probably better than Trey Sermon's bitch ass, but no, nothing really great to take away from the Colts side. And obviously the Dolphins are just, they're fucked. I'm sorry. They are absolutely fucked. Yeah, I get Tua is gone. And Devon Achane actually did finally have a fucking good game. This rushing unit as a whole had a good game. They look solid, but I don't know. I kind of feel like that this Dolphins team is so atrocious. I don't think Tua can save this season. Like, I'm not a huge Tua guy in the first place. I think he's a good quarterback who benefits from a incredibly great situation, but I don't know, man. This has been really, really unencouraging, underwhelming, so we'll see. I don't know. He's supposed to be back next week, but I think this Dolphins team has some more problems aside from the backup quarterback. So Seahawks versus Falcons. I definitely was not expecting this. I was not expecting the Falcons to get fucking destroyed like this, but not really that surprising. I think the Falcons are good, but I don't think they were quite 4-2 good. I think 4-3 is a little bit more accurate for how good they actually are, but I also still don't really think that the Seahawks are that good. I mean, Kenneth Walker had a good day today, 14 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. And most teams have kind of been able to shut down the rushing attack for Seattle. So the fact that Atlanta wasn't able to do this, I think, is the reason that they got the fucking score ran up on them, which sucks because, I mean, Bijan had a good day. He went 21 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Algier had a good day. The rushing game was there for Atlanta, which really it hasn't been so far this year, but unfortunately Kirk just kind of had a fucking bozo game. I'm trying to remember those 2 interceptions. I know that one of them was for sure on him. I don't really think the other one was, but he also had that fumble that was returned for a touchdown. So frankly, Kirk kind of sold this game, which is unfortunate because I myself am a Kirk Cousins fan, but that is also just the Kirk Cousins experience sometimes. He's bound to just have these shitty games every once in a while. So I'm thinking the Falcons will bounce back, and I'm thinking that the Seahawks are still a decent, like, fringe top 10 team. They're hovering right around, like, the 9, 10, 11, 12 mark. I don't know exactly where. I haven't done power rankings in a second, but I don't really think that they are a force to be reckoned with, but I think they're a decent football team. So, Texans-Packers. So, this was kind of a weird game. CJ Stroud goes 10 for 21, throwing for 86 yards. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. I get that Nico Collins isn't out there, but bro, you still have Tank Dell and you have Stephon Diggs, and I think that this Packers defense is pretty good. Every week they give me a reason to move them up a little bit, but I still don't think they're like elite by any means. Like, what are we doing, Texans? The only reason the Texans were in this game are because of fucking Joe Mixon and his 25 carries for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, Tank Dell comes out of this game with fucking 0 yards. Stephon Diggs comes out of this game with 5 receptions for fucking 23 yards. Like, the fuck are you, Wan'Dale Robinson, for fuck's sake? Really, really not pretty for the Texans, and they still managed to almost come out with a dub because Jordan Love throws for 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Dude cannot stop acting like Brett Favre. Josh Jacobs had a pretty decent day. He got his first receiving touchdown of his career. And per usual, the The ball went to several different targets in the receiving game in typical Packers fashion. So Brandon McManus ended up clutching the game for the Packers. But frankly, I feel like I've said this for every game, but this game just does not make me feel better about either of these two teams. I mean, the Texans' passing game did not exist, and CJ Stroud only had fucking 80 yards, and somehow the Packers only win 24-22. I don't know. I think the Packers are good, but I feel like there's just something that they are lacking, and I'm not exactly sure what that is, and the Texans just need to fucking get their shit together. Bengals versus Browns, yeah, shit ass game, honestly. Not a great game from either side, which for the Bengals is not surprising. Joe Burrow is not good against the Browns. That is just a fact. He's now 2-5 in his career against him, but prior to this game was 1-5. He threw 15 for 25, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Certainly nothing crazy, but enough to get the dub. They were not able to get any rushing attack going whatsoever. Big T. Higgins game, which let's go, and he did that for fancy purposes. Jamar Chase went out and did his thing per usual. So yeah, I guess let's talk about the Browns. Obviously, Deshaun Watson fucking snapped his Achilles out there. Who the fuck cares? I certainly don't. Deshaun Watson is a shit human being and a shit quarterback, so why the hell should I care? I was really confused why DTR was their QB2 going into that game when it's been Jameis all fucking season. That was very, very strange to me, but Jameis ends up coming in at the end and throwing a touchdown to David Njoku. Like, what are we doing? DTR is obviously not the answer. Jameis is eons better than DTR at this point in his career. So cool to see Nick Chubb touchdown. He did not do shit aside from that. 11 carries for 22 yards. So yeah, hopefully he looks a bit more healthy next week, but at least he got a touchdown. Eagles Giants, I mean, I don't really know what the fuck to say. It was the Saquon Barkley revenge game, obviously, because Jalen Hurts only threw for fucking 114 yards and 1 touchdown. And yeah, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, but who the fuck cares? This game for the Eagles was way more about Saquon Barkley. Dude went 176 rushing yards on 17 carries, bro. Averaging 10.4 yards per carry and a rushing touchdown. So that is fucking awesome. Love that because personally, I fucking hate how the Giants fans handled this entire offseason transaction. It's like, okay, you guys are mad because y'all drafted a running back number 2 overall and then choose to pay your dog shit quarterback $40 million a year so you can no longer afford your running back. Like, I just genuinely don't understand how any Giants fans can be mad at Saquon Barkley or hate Saquon Barkley. If the Giants wanted Saquon, they would have made it happen, and instead they let him walk to a division rival. How the fuck are you going to be mad at Saquon and not the Giants franchise? But yeah, enough of that. I mean, the Giants fucking suck. Daniel Jones, you fucking suck. That's what the Giants fucking deserve for getting rid of Saquon Barkley, honestly. I have no sympathy. Next. All right, Rams versus the Raiders. I mean, what do you guys want me to say about this? Like I said in my predictions video, the fucking Raiders suck. Both their quarterbacks are awful. Somehow Alexander Madison is the only functional part of that offense aside from Brock Bowers. But yeah, Rams barely squeak by. Kyron Williams does his thing, gets a couple touchdowns. Matt Stafford did not have a great game. And obviously their receiving core is poverty at this point. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say on this game. It was 2 bad teams, and the slightly less worse team won, just like I expected. Commanders Panthers, holy shit, I was not expecting the Panthers to lose this bad. Like, I thought the Commanders would smoke them, but I was hoping at least that like Andy Dalton could give Deontay Johnson a good fantasy day, and luckily Chuba has a decent fantasy day only because he scored a touchdown, but horrible performance by the Panthers. So it's not like I expect big things from this Panthers offense. I just expect them to be a below average offense that's able to make a couple of the players fantasy relevant, but goddamn, this game contradicted that. As for Commanders, I mean, yeah, y'all looked great. Shocker. Brian Robinson had another great day. Obviously Jaden Daniels unfortunately goes out, but doesn't seem like it should be too serious, and Marcus Mariota was obviously able to take care of business this week in the absence of him. But yeah, as long as Jaden is fine, I am not worried about this team whatsoever. Against good competition, Mariota is not going to cut it. But against the fucking Panthers, against bad teams, he will be just fine. So, all right, Chiefs versus 49ers. For such a hyped up game, this game kind of fucking sucked ass. I'm not even going to lie. Patrick Mahomes, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, genuinely, what the fuck are you doing? You look like dog shit. You look like fucking Will Levis out there. You look terrible. How is this team 6-0? I know, it's because the defense is so good, but even fucking so, Patrick has played so bad. Kareem Hunt's old ass is somehow carrying this team right now. Like, I genuinely do not know what the fuck is going on with the Chiefs, but I do not think that this was a good test of their ability at the same time. I mean, you have a Brock Purdy absolute disaster class. Jordan Mason can't do shit in this game. And the 49ers defense just isn't as good as they used to be. It's just not. Like, this 49ers team has some serious fucking issues. And frankly, I just don't think that this is their season. I don't. Like, Ayuk is fucking gone. Debo is Debo. He fucking misses 50% of games anyways. All you fucking got is George Kittle at this point. Juwan Jennings is out, for fuck's sake. Jordan Mason can't put the whole load on his back, and Brock Purdy is not an elevator. He is a quarterback that's capable of supporting talent around him, creating a good offense when the scheme supports him and he has good players near him. But he is not a player capable of bringing a bad 49ers team to success. So for those reasons, I don't have faith in the 49ers this season at all. And I think the Chiefs are good, but do I think they're 6-0 good? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. A lot of those games, they were bailed the fuck out. And this game was just another weird fucking fluke from the 49ers. Not a fluke. This is probably going to be more close to norm at this point because they just have so many holes. All right, and last one for now, because I am recording this Monday prior to the games, is going to be Jets versus Steelers. So obviously the Steelers come out with a dub 37-15 over the Jets, but all this shit about Russell Wilson is really pissing me the fuck off. Okay, so for one, I do not think that they should have played him in the first place. Why the fuck did they start him over Justin Fields? He was playing just fine. He was leading them to the majority W's, and he's an absolute dual threat. Like, in the red zone, he has 5 rushing touchdowns on the year. He's obviously a huge component to this game. Why would we sit him? Okay, so the Steelers sit him, and Russell Wilson goes out there and has a fine game. A fine game. Everybody who thinks that Russell Wilson is somehow the truth thinks that he had a great game. I'm sorry, what fucking game were you watching? Yeah, he ends up throwing 16 for 29, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But almost all of that yardage came off of checkdowns or Russell's receivers making incredible plays on dog shit throws. That deep ball to George Pickens, that was a shit fucking throw. Awful play by the defense. Great play by George Pickens. Russ had nothing to fucking do with that. He's completely incapable of throwing to the middle of the field, which, yeah, Justin Fields hasn't been great there either, but that's just another fucking thing against Russ. And on top of all this, the thing I keep on seeing on social media, wherever, NFL media, is that, oh, Russell Wilson isn't afraid to make these deep ball throws. He isn't afraid to just fucking throw it out there. Justin Fields was playing conservative because he didn't want to fucking lose his job. We know that he can make those deep ball throws. That was one of the only great things he did as a passer in Chicago was throw deep balls. Like, I'm sorry. I just think it's ridiculous to act like Russell Wilson has these fucking balls of steel and Justin Fields is a pussy when he's clearly not doing it because he didn't want to lose his starting job and he fucking did it anyways for doing absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. I'm not a Steelers fan. I don't give a fuck about the Steelers, frankly, but this just pissed me off because I am a Justin Fields fan. And I think that Justin Fields is a way better quarterback than Russell Wilson at their respective points in their careers. I don't know. I'm done yelling about it, but for fuck's sake, Justin Fields is the better quarterback, and I will die on that hill. Fuck Russell Wilson. All right, it is Tuesday. I am back. I was a little riled up yesterday making that recording, I guess. I didn't realize how passionate I got about especially Justin Fields at the end there. But anyways, let's talk about the last two games, the Monday night games. So first, we got Ravens versus the Buccaneers. Obviously, a massive dub by the Ravens. Very impressive game by Lamar Jackson. Awesome game by Derrick Henry, per usual. And it was great to see University of Minnesota legend Rashad Bateman pop out and show his first-round talent that he was once touted to be. But yeah, I mean, not too much to say about the Ravens aside from the fact that they are scary and they are contenders. As for the Buccaneers, ooh, that was a tough game for y'all. Holy smokes. Baker was doing his best Baker impression, going for 370 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the whole running back crew had a pretty decent game. I don't know. Cade Otton had the fucking game of his lifetime and was getting ragdolled every other play. That shit was crazy. I was watching the highlights and I was like, oh my God. It was back to back to back to back. That was brutal. But I mean, yeah, elephant in the room. Godwin and Evans both go down with what looked to be like pretty serious injuries. So unfortunately, the Bucs season is looking pretty damn grim at this point. You hate to see it, always sucks to see players go down with injuries, but what you gonna do? Hopefully they can persevere a little bit, but I think it's gonna be a rough season for the Buccaneers without those guys. And hopefully they can make swift recoveries, but they both seem pretty bad, so who knows? Okay, Chargers, Cardinals. Yeah, I don't know. It was nice to see Justin Herbert have a big game passing. He hasn't really done a whole lot of that this year, so it was nice to see him return to his former self. Shout out Bozeman legend Will Dissly for having an awesome game, 8 for 81. Justin Herbert throws for 349 yards, no touchdowns. They didn't score a single touchdown. Cameron Dicker had a hell of a game out there, so that was pretty awesome. It was also absolutely hilarious to see fucking Jalen Reagor get thrown a deep bomb and fumble it for a touchback. That was hilarious and just classic Jalen Reagor moment right there. Textbook Jalen Reagor. Didn't even know he was on the Chargers. Comes out of nowhere. Touchback. Sick, dude. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel about the Chargers. They're just kind of like a boring team to watch and don't have a whole lot of personality. Aren't really scary in any one area. I don't know. I think they're an okay, decent, middle-of-the-road team, but not really the most exciting team to watch. I'll say that much. As for the Cardinals, unfortunately, even though it was a win, it was another not great game for the Cardinals. I mean, frankly, James Conner put the goddamn team on his back and dragged everybody into the end zone himself. That was another great game by James Conner. He is the heart and soul of that team. I mean, Kyler only throws for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and obviously he breaks loose on that one touchdown run. But I mean, aside from that, it was really not an impressive game from Kyler. They continue to not be able to get Marvin Harrison involved, which is concerning. And yeah, I don't know, just not really an impressive win by the Cardinals to me in any way, shape, or form. That was all James Conner, but that sucks because I like this Cardinals team. I really like Kyler when he is just airing the ball out, running all over the field, but he's kind of been not doing a whole lot of that so far this season. Been a lot of underwhelming stat lines, but I don't know. Hopefully they can turn it around because I think that they are a better team than what their record indicates, even now that they are 3-4. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Week 7 recap. Appreciate you guys for watching and sticking around this long if you did. Click like, leave a comment, click that sub button. Appreciate anything, always. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you soon.